Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason and we're in the kitchen today. Angela Kay has got a delicious recipe in store for us today. Something that I enjoy thoroughly. Like, you know, when I used to buy stuff, I will say I like the grocery store bakeries. You'll see all these little beautiful little cream cheese danishes, right? They're so delicious. They're so good, and probably rather not get them out of the bakery, out of the grocery store bakery, but I'll take them if Angela Kay can cook them, and that's what she's going to show us how to do today, is some delicious cream cheese danishes.
Okay, this is going to be fairly easy because I'm taking a little cheat from the store and using sheets of puff pastry. These come 2 in a pack, and
In the
freezer section. Yeah. You want to thaw them according to package directions. You want to start by thawing them in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. Because you want them to stay cold, and where they are folded like this, there will be seams where there'll be like fold seams. You want to roll it just enough so that you flatten out those seams, but don't go crazy rolling it. Just roll it just enough to flatten out those seams. Then I'm going to cut it into 4 squares. Each of the sheets into 4 squares. This will make 8 danishes. It's okay if they're not fully even. It's fine. If you want them to be fully even, get out a measuring device and measure it. Now in this bowl, we are going to make the filling now. Before we start folding them or anything, we're going to make the filling really quick. We have 1 brick, 8-ounce brick of softened cream cheese. If yours isn't softened, put it in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds and it'll be softened. Then we have 1/4 cup of sugar. Now you're going to mix that up. You want to use a hand mixer for that. Okay, once those are beat together, you will add 1 egg yolk, but save that white. Don't throw it away. You'll need it for another part of the recipe. And this is about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I'm using fresh squeeze, but you can use bottled. And about 1 teaspoon, roughly measured, of vanilla. I say roughly measured because I never measure vanilla. And now you want to whip that back up until it's smooth and creamy. Now it should look all smooth and creamy like this, because it will get nice and creamy if your cream cheese is softened properly.
It's probably a little more yellow than the video looks too, because this bowl.
And it has to do with the egg yolk.
Yeah.
If you're using store-bought eggs, it probably won't be that yellow.
That's true.
Now, you want to take 4 of your squares. You want to leave a lot of space for them to expand. If you've ever used puff pastry, you know they expand.
It puffs.
It puffs a lot.
Go figure.
If you've treated it properly, it will puff a lot. So you want to give each of your danishes space. So you only want to do 4 per sheet pan. So you want to do 2 sheet pans. Okay, now here we have our egg white that I told you to save, and I've beat it up just till it's a little bit frothy, because that will get rid of the stringiness of it. Now you want to take a pastry brush and you want to brush each square with your egg white, which can take just a little bit because this is egg white. Egg yolk will spread much easier, but you just want the egg white, because the egg yolk will kind of hold it down, be a little too heavy, and can stop it from puffing as well. Okay, now we've got them all brushed, and now we are going to fold the corners in. You don't want to fold them all the way in, just a little bit. You don't want to fold them all the way toward the middle, just about like that.
You just need to work quickly.
And you need to work very quickly when you're working with puff pastry. You want to work as quickly as you possibly can, because you want it to stay with some chill on it. Because when it starts to warm, the butter in it starts to melt. And once the butter starts to melt, you will lose your ability to puff. So what you want to do is, if you no longer feel any chill on it, you want to put it back in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes or so until you start to feel a nice chill on it again. That will keep it from causing problems. Now you want to take your egg white, you want to brush those little corners. that you fold it over, because this will help get a nice crispy crust, and also it will help with another step that I'm going to show you. Now you want to take your filling and you want to divide it evenly amongst your 8 danishes. The best way to do this is with a cookie scoop. This is about a tablespoon and a half cookie scoop. You want to put it right in the middle. Kind of push it down just a little bit.
And one could kind of say, even though you put sugar into this, that's going to change the weight a little bit. Like, you had an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, so now you're going to have 8 danishes. You know,
yeah,
an ounce of cream cheese, but you did add sugar, so that will change your weight a little bit.
Sugar and vanilla and an egg yolk, and so that will change your volume. But it will probably, with a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop, it will probably be about 1 cookie scoop, maybe a little more per each one.
If you feel like you're doing too much, by the time you get through half of them, you can kind of tell if you use half of it.
Yeah, right. Which to me it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
There will be.
There should be a little left over.
Which I'll divide amongst them. You're going to kind of flatten it out just a little bit. Don't worry about flattening it out too much. The oven will do a lot of that for you. It worked out almost exactly even. There's just very little left.
Yep.
And I will just kind of drop a little bit in each one. Don't be afraid to use your fingers.
They clean. Your fingers will clean off. It's okay.
Yep. Anyone that looks a little shy, be sure and give it a
Be sure to give it a hug. Make sure you know it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay to be shy.
Don't be scared.
Now, another reason why you wanted to brush those corners is I'm going to sprinkle some crystal sugar, which is just decorating sugar. Some people call it sanding sugar. It's just large, chunky sugar.
Show the bottle, that way you can see. You bought this at Amazon?
Yes. Or you can buy it at any store. You just want to sprinkle it right around the edges.
Is that Wilton brand?
Yes, this is Wilton.
Okay.
A lot of places do it, even some store brands.
Yeah.
You want to sprinkle a good little crunchy sprinkle. It'll just add a little crunch. A little crunch and a little shine around the edges. And you just want to do like a little pinch around each one. Now our 2 pans of danishes are ready to go into the oven. And we have our oven preheated to 375 degrees. You want to put these in the oven for about 15 minutes. One on the second from the bottom level of, you want your rack on the second from the bottom. And you want your top rack on the second from the top. You want to put 1 pan on each rack. You want them to bake for about 15 minutes. Then you will put the bottom pan on the top and the top pan on the bottom.
Flip them around. Yep.
And then you will put them back in for about 12 to 15 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown and puffed.
And look at these beautiful cream cheese danishes. It's about half an hour in the oven, and Angela brought them out here and put them on some cooling racks. And we're going to test them here in just a few minutes. All right, look at these beautiful danishes. That's awesome. Now, in order to let them to pick them up like this by hand, you'll need to let them sit for 5 minutes or so until you can start picking them up without them falling apart. But they're set up really nice, and they're still nice and warm too. Angela, okay? You did something here. I'll show you. I'll take another bite. That was delicious. Absolutely amazing. Light, not overly sweet. Just a beautiful flavor. So amazing. Now I've got some really strong dark roast coffee over here that's gonna go amazing with it as well. But this right here, brilliant, simple, delicious. All of the above. And that's Angela K. Brilliant, simple, and delicious.
I'm simple.
But so, you gotta test these out. They're so awesome. A wonderful little little weekend breakfast treat. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. A smart one. Her name's Angela Kay. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.